Hello again everybody and welcome back to Flight Simulator X Gold Edition. We will now be playing Tutorial 8, which is transitioning to jets. So this could be a bit dangerous. But we'll have to do it. Hopefully it's a little bit similar to flying just the normal planes, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so I'll see you in the mission. I'll see you when we're in the mission, guys. Right.
This flight is just a quick 35-mile repositioning from Edinburgh to Glasgow without
I didn't show the
a good opportunity
briefing, but it's Edinburgh to Glasgow.
CRJ 700. While we're waiting in line for takeoff, I'll explain a few things.
Waiting in line,
flying a modern jet isn't really all that different from flying a small prop plane. There are just a handful of key differences. The first thing you'll notice is how different the instrument panel looks. Instead of many small, round mechanical instruments, there are just a few large computer screens. Most of the information is the same, but the presentation is different.
I see.
World travel 221, hold short runway 6 right, traffic is a 747 on final.
Okay!
Holding short 6 right, world travel 221.
That call was for another aircraft. We're Orbit 526. I'll handle the radios during this flight, so don't worry if you miss anything. I'll tell you what to do. The display on the left is the primary.
I want to be shit at radio things.
PFD. It combines multiple instruments into one display. The blue and brown section in the middle of the PFD is an attitude indicator. The vertical tape on the left side shows airspeed, and the tape on the right side shows altitude. At the bottom in the middle is a horizontal situation indicator, which shows heading, and to the right of that is a vertical speed indicator.
I see.
Glass displays like these take some time to get used to, but once you get the hang of it, you'll love them. The display to the right of the PFD is the navigation display, which shows a top-down view of the aircraft's position relative to navigational aids and the flight planned route.
I see there's a rather large Boeing coming our way.
Format and range knobs on the left side of the panel. Try it now if you want to.
What's that?
Okay, the third display is the Engine Indication and Crew Alerting System, or ICAS. The default page shows engine information, gear and flap positions, fuel quantity, and warning and caution messages. You can scroll through the different ICAS screens by clicking the up and down buttons at the bottom of the display. Each screen provides information about a different aircraft system. For this flight, keep the engine gauges showing on the ICAS. The top gauges are labeled N1. As we fly, I'll give you suggested thrust settings. Use your joystick throttle lever or the F2 and F3 keys to move the N1 needles to the settings I suggest. The rows of buttons and knobs just below the windshield is the mode control panel for the autopilot. We won't be using the autopilot on this flight, so don't worry about any of that for now. A big difference between jets and piston aircraft is that in a jet, the engines take a while to spool up. This means that if you add or reduce thrust, there will be a slight delay before your action has any effect. This fact, combined with the jet's higher speed, means that you need to plan ahead.
Will do.
World travel 221, back into position and hold.
Position and hold, world travel 221.
Jets have flaps just like piston aircraft. They're used during takeoff and landing to increase both lift and drag. Lower the flaps to 20 degrees for takeoff now by pressing the F7 key 3 times. You can see the flap indicator on the ICAS.
Orbit 526,
1,
short runway 6 right.
2, short 6 right, orbit
3.
526.
Okay.
Okay, follow the 737 ahead of us, but hold short of the runway. Release the brakes by pressing the period key and apply some thrust to get us going.
I'm applying some thrust. 1 second. Oh god! I suppose we just have to go right to the end of that runway, yeah. I'll go and do that. Oh no, that's the virtual cockpit. I'll go back to this cockpit. Just very slowly doing this because I don't want to overdo anything on my first jet flight. That would be a bit stupid. Right. We're not moving very fast at all here, I do admit that, but you know, it's just to be safe. says we have to hold just short of the runway, so I will do that. Right. Just reducing the thrust a little bit now.
You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick.
For crying out loud, I'm trying to turn. God.
Good. Stop here. One last thing.
Whoops.
During the takeoff roll, I'll call out 4 speeds. When I call 80 knots, glance at your airspeed tape to verify it's moving. It's hitting approximately the same speed as mine.
Okay.
When I call V1, it means we're at the speed where we're committed to taking off, because there isn't enough runway to stop at that point. When I say rotate, gently pull back on the stick and rotate the nose into the air. Finally, I'll call V2 when we reach the minimum safety speed at which we can safely climb on just one engine if there's a failure. You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick.
Roll travel 221.
I'm not even touching the fucking...
You're over-controlling.
Use less pressure on the stick.
World travel 221.
I'm not even touching the damn controls! Can I freaking go now? Feels awkward just...
You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick.
I'm not touching...
Flight 26. Back into position.
Brake, I'm just gonna hold the brake.
You're over-controlling.
What?!
Pressure on the stick. Position and hold, orbit 526. You're over-controlling.
Oh, I'm getting pissed off by this guy now.
Okay, we're cleared to taxi onto the runway, but not to take off yet. Taxi ahead and turn right onto the runway. Stop once you're on the runway and lined up with the center line.
Okay. I'll do that now.
You're over-controlling. Use less
Mate,
pressure
fuck
on
off.
the stick.
I swear.
Shift 5 to display the overhead panel, and turn on the landing light by clicking the switch in the lower left corner. Then press Shift 5 again to close the overhead.
Shift 5. Right, hang on a minute.
You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick.
I'm getting
Before we
seriously
take off,
annoyed with you.
Let's review exactly what will happen. You'll control the aircraft. I'll handle the radios. I'll call out
Right.
80 knots, V1, rotate, and V2. When I say
Stop.
rotate, gently pull back on the stick to raise the nose to 15 degrees nose up on the primary flight display. I'll tell you to retract the landing gear once we're climbing. Once we reach 1,000 feet above the runway, I'll tell you to pitch down to 10 degrees nose up and to raise the flaps so we can accelerate. Our initial climb will be to our cruise altitude of 6,000 feet, and the departure controller will probably tell us to make a left turn to the west. I'll let you know when to turn. You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick.
Orbit 526. Winds are calm. Runway 6 right. Clear for takeoff.
You're over-controlling. Use less pressure.
Do you want me
on
to
the stick.
punch you in the
Clear
face?
for takeoff. Orbit 526. You're over-controlling.
Oh my god.
Use less pressure on the stick. All right, we're clear to go. When you're ready, use the throttle lever on your joystick or press the F3 key to add thrust. Start with 50% N1. Let the engine stabilize and then increase thrust to 100%. You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick. You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick.
I'm going straight forward now, so I'm
You're
not...
over-controlling.
Shut up!
Pressure on the stick. You're over-controlling.
Oh my god,
Less
this...
pressure on the stick. You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick. You're over-controlling.
Oh, I swear I'm
Use
gonna
less
kill this
pressure
guy
on
in a
the
minute.
stick. You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick. You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick.
Oh, this guy's driving me
You're
insane.
over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick. You're over-controlling.
I'm fairly sure this is a
Use
bug,
less
to be
pressure on
honest,
the
but it's
stick.
still fucking annoying.
You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick. You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick. You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick. 80 knots. You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick. V1. Rotate. Slowly pitch up to 15 degrees. V2. Positive rate, gear up. Raise the landing gear by pressing the G key.
G. I can't actually tell what the degrees is that I'm facing at, but
Orbit 526.
at least I'm not over controlling anymore.
Edinburgh departure, orbit 526 with you, climbing to 6,000. Okay, move the stick to adjust pitch to 10 degrees nose up on the primary flight display, and raise the flaps. Reduce thrust to about 80% N1 to keep our speed below 250 knots. Climb and maintain 6,000 feet.
Orbit 526, roger. Orbit 526, turn left, heading 270.
Left to 270, orbit 526. Okay, it's time for the turn. Make a nice easy left turn until our heading is 270 degrees. That's due west.
I will do that now, my friend, if
Let's run through the after takeoff checklist. Landing gear, up. Flaps, up. Retract the flaps, press F6 3 times. Thrust,
There we
set
go.
to 80% N1 for the climb. After takeoff checklist complete.
just slowly turning. Again, I can't tell what my degree of pitch is. I'm not sure where that is on the actual display. Probably missing something here, but yeah. I'm just slowly turning off to the left anyway, so I'm doing the right thing, I hope.
Level off at 6,000 feet and reduce thrust to about 60% N1. That should give us about 250 knots.
6,000 feet.
We'll stay low on this short flight, so don't exceed 250 knots and keep the landing lights on. This is standard practice below 10,000 feet.
What's that? No, overspeed. Reduce. Oh my god. Jesus.
526, resume own navigation.
Don't exceed 250 knots below 10,000 feet. Resume on navigation, orbit 526.
Oh, Lord.
Alright, we've been told to resume our own navigation. This means the controller will no longer be giving us vectors, and we should follow our filed flight plan. We're above our assigned altitude. Descend to 6,000 feet. Our flight plan route takes us to a point that will line us up for an approach to Glasgow's runway 23, which is currently the active runway. You can use the mission compass to navigate to that point, or you can follow our flight plan on the map page of the navigation display. The pink line on the screen is the path we should be following.
I'll just descend to 6,000 feet, and then I'll start following the flight plan. I'm still slowly turning to the west here. Right, there is 6,000 feet, so we can pull up about now, I'd say. 6,000... Yep, that's... Okay, we're going below 6,000 now. Let's level out. Right, we're going a bit low now, actually, so we'll go up a bit.
It's a nice day for sightseeing, but we shouldn't burn too much of the company's fuel. Take us south to get us back on track.
What? Frickin' screw you, mate. I'll do what I want. I'll do what I fucking want. Just... I'm just turning to the west. Honestly, that's all I'm doing. Maybe I should have been following the flight path, but, you know. Right, there we go. This is... we're going in the correct direction now. Let's... Oh Lord, it's a bit of overstay there, I think. I'll just try and ascend to 6,000 feet again. Here we are. I think we're about set now. Let's just carry on pulling up the. And I'll level out as soon as we hit 6,000. Let me just check the outside. That looks relatively steady from outside, I have to say. I'd say we're actually going a bit slowly here, aren't we? So I'll just increase the thrust a little bit. Should probably level out about now. I'm trying my best to keep this on course, but I'm not very good at this whole thing, admittedly. Feels like we're still drifting off to the left a bit, so I'll turn right here. Oh. Nice, calm, relaxing flight from Edinburgh to Glasgow. I have to say, I still do prefer normal planes. I think they probably are my favourites, but flying this jet, it doesn't feel that different, admittedly, from the normal planes, but yeah.
Orbit 526, contact Glasgow approach on 119.1.
Orbit 526, switching. Thanks. Glasgow approach, Orbit 526 with you.
Orbit 526, Glasgow approach. Good morning.
He's not Scottish. He's a fraud.
Expect vectors for the visual approach, runway 23 at Glasgow. Glasgow altimeter 29902.
Slowing to 210 and we'll expect the visual for runway 23, Orbit 526. Bring the thrust back to about 50% N1, then adjust it to maintain 210 knots. Since the weather's good, the controller will line us up with the runway and give us clearance to proceed to the airport visually once we have the runway in sight.
Okay, I'm reducing the thrust. Well, I have reduced the thrust anyway. Just knock it right down.
Orbit 526, descend and maintain 3000.
Descend and maintain 3000, Orbit 526. Okay, we've got clearance to descend to 3,000 feet.
Okay.
Reduce thrust to idle and gently push forward on the stick to take us down. Pitch to about 7 degrees nose down to maintain 210 knots as we descend.
The thrust is at idle. We're not actually that far away from 210 knots anyway, so it's not bad at all. We're nearly 5,000 feet now. 4,800, 4,700, 4,600, 4,500, 4,4, 4,3, 4,2, 4. What, we're going a bit fast here, admittedly, but you know, have to descend, don't we? 3,9, 3,8, 3,7. 3.6. No, not yet. Actually, it's not 3.6 yet. 3.6. 3.5. 3.4. 3. 3. 3.2.
Okay, level off here
I'll pull
at
up this.
3,000 feet and bring the thrust back up to about 50% N1 to maintain 210 knots.
I'm leveling out. Leveling out. It's hard to tell exactly when you are leveled out in this plane, because it's a big thing. You can't exactly tell which way the plane is actually facing.
Orbit 526, reduce speed to 180 knots.
Slowing to 180, orbit 526. Okay, now reduce thrust a bit to slow to 180 knots. Pull back on the stick a bit to keep the nose from dropping. Maintain 3,000 feet as you slow down.
Will do, will do. Let's say 180 knots. I think it did then, it's 180.
Press F7 twice to lower the flaps to 8 degrees. The flaps will slow us down, so bring the thrust back up to about 60% N1, so we maintain 180 knots.
Oh god. I would say we've actually kept the speed quite well here, if you know what I mean.
Orbit 526, turn left heading 230, vectors for the visual approach runway 23, report the runway in sight.
Left to 230, looking for the runway. Orbit 526. Here we go. Turn left to 230 degrees. We should see the runway straight ahead once we roll out.
Ah, I can see it, yes, excellent.
Okay, I see the runway. Approach, Orbit 526 has the runway in sight.
Orbit 526, cleared visual approach runway 23.
Cleared for the visual, Orbit 526. Reduce thrust to idle and begin descending towards the runway.
Thrust is idle.
Lower the landing gear by pressing G and lower full flaps as we slow down. Press F7 3 times.
I'll try and keep us
In a large
pitched up.
aircraft like this, the speed you land at changes depending on how heavy you are. At our current weight, our final approach speed will be 130 knots. Adjust thrust to maintain 130 knots as we descend toward the runway.
Oh, 130 knots, right. I'll try and get to about that speed. We're currently at 140, just need a little to be a little bit slower, and then we will be good to continue descending. Actually, 140, it's up near enough, isn't it? I seriously hope that we can do this first time. But I have a severely bad feeling that I'm going to do something really badly to fuck this up somewhere along the line. I guess I'll fully extend the flaps now. One, two, three. Yep, that's it. Fully extend the flaps. We're dropping a bit below 130 here actually, so I'll increase the thrust a bit. Turn it down a bit now. We've actually done reasonably well here, amazingly, to be fair to us.
Orbit 526, contact tower on 118.8.
Switching to tower now, orbit 526. Thanks. Glasgow Tower, orbit 526 with you on the visual approach for runway 23.
Orbit 526, Glasgow Tower, you're number 1. Clear to land, runway 23. Wind calm.
Clear to land, orbit 526. We're clear to land, so let's run through the before landing checklist. It's a short one. Landing gear, down.
Yep.
Flaps, set to 45 degrees.
Yep.
Landing checklist complete.
Well, that's it.
Continue descending. Once we're about 50 feet over the runway, reduce thrust to idle and pull back on the stick slightly to touch down on the main wheels first. Then, slowly lower the nose.
I really hope we can do this. I'm nervous, guys. I'm nervous. Because landing a freaking jet like this is just dangerous, isn't it? Let's just reduce the thrust a bit. Oh god. Oh no. I don't like this. Right, thrust to idle. Go on, Craig, you can do this, you can do this. Oh my lord, 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 oh my lord. Oh my good grief, I can't even see the runway. We've undershot this. Oh my We went through a fence. Oh lord. Should we be applying the brakes here? Just to slow down a bit.
Nice landing.
Orbit 526, turn left next taxiway and contact ground on 121.7.
Ground on 121.7, orbit 526. Turn left on the next taxiway. Once you're clear of the runway, stop, retract the flaps, and turn off the landing lights. You're over-controlling. Use less pressure.
Oh, not this shit again. Right, let's just turn off here. Might just use the grass a bit here, just to,
Glasgow ground, orbit 526, clear of 23.
Orbit 526, taxi to the gate, 737, on the way to Rock.
We'll follow the 37, orbit 526. Okay, just follow that 737 on the taxiway. He's going to the same ramp, just a different gate.
the same ramp, just a different gate. Oh wow. That was a shit landing. Mainly because we completely missed the runway when we touched down, and we kind of went straight through a metal fence. But, you know, at the end of the day... at the end of the day, it's all well and good, it's all well and good. Dear Lord. Whoa, really am over-controlling that. Really am over-controlling.
You're over-controlling. Use less pressure on the stick.
Okay, I've got it. I've got it.